Hey, Refining Purpose family, I wanted to get on here to just tell you a quick little story time about well, actually, it's not a story time. It's more of an embarrassing time of the time that I had to do a sobriety test in the middle of a gas station. No fun at all. Anyway, let's rewind a little bit. Let's take it back. Let me give you a little backstory. Okay. So one day I was going to go meet the guy who I buy stuff from. This was like maybe a week or so after I had lost my nephew. So if you haven't seen that video when I talked about that, go back and watch my first video. I'm going to link it in the description below. But anyway, so it was like a week or so after I had lost my nephew and everything, and I was already in a down spiral. Like I was spiraling all the way down. Matter of fact, I could say I was almost at rock bottom. And so I was getting ready to go meet the guy who I buy stuff from, but he wasn't home or whatever. So he was like, I'll call you when I get there. So I was already out and everything. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to drive around a little bit until he gets there. I was like driving through the neighborhood. I'm going like 5 or 10 miles per hour. And then I kind of get a little sleepy or whatever. So I start to doze off and I hear boom, right? And it automatically wakes me up. Like I'm scared because it sounded off so loud, right? And not only that, it gave me like a bunch of adrenaline. Like at this point, I'm no longer sleeping. I'm wide awake. And so I'm like looking around to see like, what was that? I'm like disoriented. And so I look in front of the car, and I can see like a ton of bricks on the ground. And I'm like, oh my gosh, whatever. So I'm like looking around to see if anybody saw me or whatever. And I don't see anybody outside. So I'm like, okay, great. And then I look over and I see a mailbox, right? So I can only see the bottom of the mailbox. I'm trying to insert a picture of one that's similar. So it was like bricks all around the mailbox. And then there was a mailbox inside, right? So I hit it, and like the top half kind of fell over. It's all in the middle of the road. Like there's a ton of bricks. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like I just hit this thing. I have to get out of here. You know what I'm saying? So like I start driving down to the end of the road because I'm like, I'm going to just go out a different way. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to get out of Dodge at this point. So I get down, and once I get down further, I notice that it's a cul-de-sac. So there's no way out but the way that I came in. I turn around and I'm like speeding out of this neighborhood. I am trying to get out of there by any means possible, right? So I pass it and I notice that there's nobody around, right? Oh, side note, the mailbox that I had hit right beside the neighbor was like a cop. It was a cop car. And I'm like, oh my gosh, right? So I get out of Dodge and everything, and I'm like, thank God I made it out of the clear. I meet up with the guy and everything, get what I need, and then I'm about to go on my way home, right? So on my way home, I needed to stop by a gas station. So I stopped by this gas station, right? And it was the QT, my favorite store in the whole wide world. I love me some QT. So I go in there, and before I go in there, right, I'm sitting in the car, right? And I'm sitting in the car just trying to get myself together because like I told you, I had lost my nephew probably like a week or so prior. So I was all over the place. I was disoriented. I couldn't tell up from down. I mean, I was a mess. So I'm sitting in the car trying to get myself together because I had been crying like the whole day. Like I was crying nonstop. I was always crying during this time. So I'm like sitting in the car and everything, and I'm just crying. I'm trying to gather myself, before I go into this gas station, right? And I look over, and there's like this family van, right? And there's like a mom and a dad and like 4 kids. So I see them, and I see that they see me or whatever, but I'm not worried about them because I'm minding my own business. And I'm sitting in the car, and I'm like I'm sobbing. I'm listening to sad music. Like I'm just distraught. And then I see them get out the car and everything. And as a family, they go into the store and then they come back. At this point, I'm still in the car. It probably had been like a couple minutes that had passed. Come back out. And then the mom goes back in. So at this point, they're looking a little suspicious. And I'm like, what are these people doing? And so like, I'm looking over at them, and I see they are looking over at me. And they're probably thinking, what is she doing? Right? So I'm thinking what they doing. So at this point, I'm like, okay, they kind of creeping me out or whatever. So I'm about to go ahead and I'm going to go into the store. So I go into the bathroom, right? So I go into the store and I go into the bathroom. I get some tissue. I wipe my face. I'm sitting trying to get myself together, make sure I look okay. I come out the bathroom, y'all. And as soon as I come out, there's like this officer guy. So the police officer, he's standing there and he's like looking at me. I mean, he's just like standing in front of he's just standing there, and I'm just like, what is this guy doing? So I'm like, hey, how you doing? Because that's who I am. I always speak. I'm always going to ask you how you doing. So I'm like, hey, how you doing, or whatever. He's like, hey, how you doing? I'm good. Mind you, I didn't stop to speak. I just was speaking, hey, how you doing, while I'm still walking on, going about my business. Because at this point, I kind of feel like he might be there for me, because why else would he be standing outside of the ladies' restroom? So I get out there and drive past him and everything, I go over to the drink section, which is on the complete opposite side of the store, because at this point I'm trying to create distance. I don't want to be nowhere near this officer guy. So I'm over there, and then I happen to like look over, just like kind of side eye, to see if he's like following me, because I'm thinking that he might be there for me, right? So I look over, and mind you, he's walking over there. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this officer is about to come over here, because I hit this mailbox. That's what I'm thinking in my head. So I had look over on the screens. You know, the QT has these TV screens and everything, and you can see the cameras and the monitors. You can see your car, the gas pumps and all that. So I'm looking over to see if there's any cops or anything by my car, because at this point I'm paranoid. And so by the time I look up and everything, I didn't see no cops. And then he's over there by me, and he's like, hey, I'm kind of talk to you for a second. And I'm like, yes, what is it? What do you need? He's like, yeah, so we had got a phone call that said that you were, that these people in this car was a little worried about you. At this point, I'm thinking it's that family people. It's those civilians. They called the cops on me, And so I'm like, no, I was just having a hard time today or whatever, just trying to get myself together and stuff. So he's like, well, do you mind doing a sobriety test? And so at this point, I'm thinking a sobriety test, like right here. And so I didn't know that I could deny it. I didn't know if I could deny it. I still don't know if I can or not. Can I? If y'all know, let me know in the comment section if I can deny a sobriety test if I'm not driving, right? And so he's like, can you do the sobriety test? And so I'm like, sure, at this point, because I know I'm not like drunk. He was checking to see if I was drunk. I knew I wasn't drunk. So I'm like, yeah, I'll do the sobriety test. So the first thing he asked me, hey, can you stand on one foot? And I'm like, okay, so I stand on one foot. I'm sitting there with my leg up, and I'm like locking eyes, because I'm trying to sell this story of me being sober. And so he's like, all right, can you say your ABCs backwards? And I'm like, my ABCs backwards? I was thinking in my head, can you say your ABC backwards? Because I don't know if I could do that even if I was sober. So I try. I'm like, Z, Y, X, B, and he's like, okay. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, officer, look, I'm not drunk, whatever. I said, I had like a hoodie on with my nephew and everything on it, his picture and everything, rest in peace. But anyway, I had his picture on, and I was like, this is my nephew. I literally just lost him in a house fire last week, and we're about to have something for him. And I'm just really emotional. And I really was like, that was really what was going on. Like, yes, I might've been under the influence. Yes, I might've been a little up, but I'm kind of okay, a little bit, not really, but that's the reason I'm all over the place, is because I'm distraught. And so he's like, okay, whatever. He was like, oh, is this house fire? Is that the house fire that was up the street? And he named the name of the street. And I was like, yes. And he was like, wow. He was like, I was one of the respondent officers for that. And I was like, oh wow, what a small world. And we were just talking and everything, and he was like telling me how sorry he was and all of this. He was a really nice guy. I'm not gonna lie, he was a nice cop guy. And so then after that, he's like, yeah, well, they were just trying to check on you, make sure you were okay. So I'm like, at this point, I'm okay. And so I was like, okay. He was like, well, you're free to leave and everything. So I was like, okay. He was like, do you want me to follow you home? And I'm thinking, no, I don't want you to follow me home. And so I go back out to the car, and at this point I'm like looking all over the parking lot for this nice civilian couple who called the cops on me, because I'm kind of upset about it a little bit, but now looking back on it, I get it. If I seen something like that, I probably wouldn't have called the cops. I probably would have checked on them, but to each his own, you never know. So I go back to the car and everything, and I'm sitting in the car and I'm about to leave, but I'm trying to stall because I see the officer, he's in his car, and I'm like, man, if I pull out, is he going to follow me? And mind you, the whole time while all of this is going on, all I could think about was that mailbox that I had hit earlier. And that was the whole reason I thought that I was there and was completing the sobriety test. But turns out the only reason I was there completing it was because this nice civilian couple called the cops because they were concerned citizens. Yeah. So I say all of this to tell you to don't do stuff like when you're under the influence of stuff, stay home. My life could have ended that day. I really could have hurt somebody doing what I was doing. I thank God for keeping me during that time. And I'm so happy that I get to live to talk about this and even smile about it a little bit, because it's a little funny, But anyway, yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. I advise not even being under the influence, but if you are, stay at home, stay at the comfort of your own home where you won't be able to hurt anybody or hurt yourself, because you only get one life to live, and that's it. Once it's done, it's done. You can't take anything back. And it only takes a split second to change your life. Trust me, I know. Okay? But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to share that story with y'all. I hope that y'all enjoyed it. Continue to refine your purpose. You know that I am. I'm so happy I'm delivered from all of that now. Jesus saves. Hallelujah. Anyway, have a good day. Okay, I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye. Wait, come back. If you haven't done so already, like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you never miss an upload from me, okay? Anyway, y'all can go now, okay?